Hi everyone, this is Susie. So today we're going to be making tacos al pastor with green jackfruit, and these are some of the ingredients we'll be using. So I have apple cider vinegar, green jackfruit, and I get this at Trader Joe's, salt, pepper, dry oregano, Mexican oregano, cumin, allspice, white onion, just a little piece of it, one garlic clove, and a little piece of bay leaf, 2 cloves, or like the equivalent of that would maybe be like a fourth of a teaspoon or so if you want the ground clove, and a tiny piece of ginger. It's like almost like a fourth of a teaspoon or so. And then I have 2 chiles guajillos, which is this one, and I just soak these in hot water for at least 30 minutes to 1 or 2 hours. And I have 2 chile chipotle en adobo. So yeah, so let's get started. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is take your chile guajillo, I wash it, I open it up, and I take out all the seeds, and then I put hot water over it, and you can put like a plate or something over it just to steam it, and so that it'll cook sooner. It kind of cooks a little bit with the hot water, and then you just leave it there for, like I said, for like anywhere from 30 minutes to 2 hours, or even more. You can leave it for more than that if you want to, okay? So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to cook the jackfruit, and I have a little bit of onion, maybe about 2 tablespoons of red onion. You can use white onion if you like, and 1 garlic clove, and that's up to you as much as you want it. And then I'm just going to cut the jackfruit into small pieces, like this, and just throw it in there, and I'm going to do this with the whole can, okay? Okay, so now we're going to cook the jackfruit, and you can add a little bit of oil if you like, but I don't usually add any oil. And you can add some salt and pepper. And then the liquid that we got from the can was about 1 cup, so we're going to use the whole thing, okay? And it's going to take about 20 minutes or so to cook this up, okay? So I'll be back. Okay, so I just put it in the stove at like medium heat or so, and I just gave it a stir, and I'm going to cover this up. And in about 20 minutes or so, it'll be ready. Okay, so I've done this recipe with soycurls before. I have not done it with textured soy protein, but I would imagine it's the same thing. So when I did it with the soycurls, I did 2 cups of the soycurls, of the dried soycurls. So let's imagine there's 2 cups here of soycurls. I threw them in my little glass container. I had 3/4 of a cup of hot water, very hot water, and to this you would add half of a teaspoon of the Better Than Bouillon base, and you just mix that in, dissolve it really, really well, maybe get a little whisk or something. Then you throw it into your soycurls, and you mix it in with the spoon, and just make sure it absorbs all the liquid. And then after it has absorbed everything, maybe, I don't know, a few minutes after, probably like 5 minutes, it's ready or so. Then I would take each little soycurl and cut it into smaller pieces, because usually the soycurls come into bigger chunks. So you just want to cut that up, and then it's ready for you to add the mole, okay? So just so you know, you can use both of those things, either the soycurls or the jackfruit, and I actually liked both of them equally. So it just depends on your preference. Okay, so now we're going to make the mole, and I have my chiles here, and I'm just going to throw them into the blender. Okay, so here you have a couple options. You can take the onion, the garlic, the little bit of bay leaf, and the cloves, put them in a little pan and put a little bit of oil and just saute that for like a couple minutes or so. And then once that's done, then you put it into your blender. Or last time I didn't do any of that. I just skipped that part, and you can just throw everything in there without first sauteing it, and it tasted fine. So it's up to you, okay? It's up to you. And then we have the chile chipotles here in adobo. You know which one those are. And I have about 1/4 of a cup of the liquid. Don't throw the rest of it out, just in case you need more of it, okay? Okay, so we're going to add about 1/8 of a teaspoon of the allspice. And like I say, always start with a little bit less, because it might be too much for you, and then you can add more if you like, okay? And we're going to add 1/8 of a teaspoon of cumin. And we're going to add up to 1 teaspoon of apple cider vinegar, but start with 1/2 teaspoon, taste it, and if you want a little bit more, then just add the other 1/2 teaspoon, okay? Okay, now you're going to add a little bit of black pepper. This is to your taste. And about 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Like I say, always start with a little bit less, and then add more if you need to, okay? And at this point you can add the oregano, an eighth of a teaspoon of oregano, but I always like to add it at the end. So we are going to blend this up and I'll be right back. So I just had an idea. I think I'm going to add about half of a teaspoon of the bouillon base to this, and I'm just going to mix it in there. Maybe it'll help give it a more like meaty flavor and stuff. Okay, so just so you know. Okay, so here is the mole, and I forgot to tell you guys that do the guajillos first, then taste it, and if you feel like it needs more chile, then add the chipotles, because it might be too spicy if you add all those chiles at the same time, okay? So because this turned out pretty spicy, which means that the guajillos were a little bit on the spicy side. But, I mean, they're good for me, but I don't want you guys to be like burning your mouth and then blaming me for it. So we're just going to take this and strain it, okay? Just gonna strain that. Okay, and I'm gonna take a little bit more of that liquid from the chiles, just a tiny bit. And I'm gonna swish this around and throw it in there. Okay. Okay, so here's the mole. Okay, so this is where I add my dry oregano, about like an eighth of a teaspoon or so. And you're just going to crush it like that. Give it a mix. And if for some reason you feel like, oh, I needed more cumin or more allspice or something, you can just go ahead and add it here, okay? If you think it needs more, what is it? Clove, then you can just add the ground clove to it and that'll be fine. Okay, so I wanted to measure how much it yielded, and it was half a cup exactly of the mole, okay? So it's been about 20 minutes and the jackfruit is ready, so we're just going to turn this off. Okay, so now we are going to add the mole to the jackfruit. I'm just going to mix that in there. Okay, so at this point, you can just leave it like that, or you can add a little bit more of that liquid that we have left over from the soaked chiles. You can just add a little bit of liquid and cook this for maybe like 2 or 3 minutes or so, just so that everything cooks together. But you don't really have to, since everything is hot. You can probably just cover it up and just let it sit there while you get everything else ready, okay? Okay, so now we're going to make the salsa de tomatillo, and I just have 3 tomatillos and 1, 2, 3, 5 chiles serranos, but you don't have to use that many. And I just put them in the little pot with water, and I just cooked it for about like 20 to 15 minutes. I'm just going to throw all this into the blender. So if you like, you can add a piece of garlic. I'm not going to add any today, and you don't have to do 5 chiles, okay? I recommend you start with less, and then just a little bit of salt, and we're going to blend this up. Okay, so here is the sauce. Okay, so here's everything you need. Your warm corn tortilla, salsa de tomatillo. I like pinto beans. These are homemade. The carne al pastor, cilantro, onion, lemon or lime juice, and some salt. Okay, so I have my carne al pastor. You can add your beans. Like I say, this is optional. I like it because it makes it a little bit more filling. And then cilantro. A little bit of onion. You can use red onion if you like also. Okay, let's give this baby a try. This is one spicy taco al pastor, let me tell you. It is so good. Oh yeah, baby. This is good. Very, very good. Ooh, don't go crazy with the chiles like I did, okay? Because then you won't be able to eat it. The other thing I forgot to mention is when you're making the mole, when you put all the chiles and everything in the blender, you can add like 1/4 of a teaspoon of achiote powder. If you guys know what that is, they sell it in like all the Mexican stores and stuff. They sell it in like a paste or in like a powder. I usually use the powder, so if you add like 1/4 of a teaspoon, and it usually just gives it a little bit more like of the reddish color, and that's it, okay? So you can add that. I forgot to mention that. So I think that is it for today, but bloody hell are these spicy. I can't even eat it, but it's so good though. I hope you guys enjoy this. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Have a great day.